Shalom, Barakatha Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh, double honors to the apostles of GMS and salutations to all of the sincere Akim worldwide. Hey, and the purpose of this sit down is just to emphasize the fact that this so-called white man does not love Jake one single bit. As you can see from the title of this video, or the title of the article in the video, I should say, says nothing here to shoot other than blacks. Florida cops racist text revealed in probe. So basically, in short, you had these two Edomite police officers, and they were sending each other text messages, basically saying there ain't nothing else to kill out here in Florida other than niggers, yeah. And it came out, Esau's tongue falling upon himself, and now you've got it to where, like, they've published it into an article, and I'm sure Jake are out there outraged because they're looking at it like, how can someone say that about us? How can someone look at us as such lowly creatures? How can someone not even look at us as equal to them? Well, the reason for that is that, hey man, Esau's ruling right now, and at this current moment in time, he's over us because Yahweh has given him this kingdom to reign over. So let's get into this anyway, and I'm going to bring some scriptures out and dissect this. It says, an investigation into two Florida police officers has revealed a shocking series of racist text messages sent to one another in a group chat. I mean, you surprised? These devils are being what they are, man. Perfect devils, man. What else do you expect? It says the international probe was launched by the Edgware Police Department in the east of the state after colleagues reported officers William Weatherhall and Matthew Snyder over the contents of messages sent during a shift in September this year. So they got snitched on by their colleagues, basically, man. But these are two supposedly upstanding members of the public, police, people that are there to look after you. It says, despite the two accused resigning after being confronted with screenshots of their exchanges in October, senior EPD officers nevertheless launched an investigation. The report, which has been seen by RT.com, details how Weatherhall and Snyder made multiple comments and shared memes disparaging African Americans. The group exchange begins with a meme from Snyder caption, "This just in. No work, boots were stolen in the looting." Weatherwall then replies saying, "Because black people don't steal things for work." To which Snyder writes in return, "That's how you starve them." Hey, I ain't gonna go into all of that. I mean, you get the gist of it, man. You get the gist of it. They were basically making joke about how they're gonna kill Jake, man. And the spiritual thing about it is that when that time of martial law does come, that's exactly what's gonna be happening, man. Jake are gonna be dying out in these streets, man. Jake that thought they were, down with the so-called white man. They thought that, the so-called white man was their friend. They thought this devil could be righteous. Hey, man. I'm going to get the scriptures out, man. Let's see what Yahweh says about that. So you want to be the so-called white man's friend. Let's see what the creator of the so-called white man thinks about that. This is Sirach, also known as Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. And I'm going to start from verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy. Straight into the point. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. What does that mean? In the same way, it's inevitable that iron is eventually going to rust when you expose it to oxygen. You have this so-called white man around you, you have this devil around you. It's inevitable that at some point in time, man, his true nature is going to come out and he's going to spite you, man. The scripture also says, who shall pity a snake charmer? Because snakes are designed to bite, man. Snakes are designed to kill and hunt. Now, if you have a snake around you, you might have it under that spell of with the music and that, but when it snaps out of that for that brief moment, man, and it bites you, don't be surprised, man, because it's doing what's true to its nature, being a snake, being a slitherin, slimy and really, doing what it's supposed to do, infect you with that venom and kill you. So don't be surprised when it does that. In the same way, don't be surprised when this devil flips on you and literally does some ultimate wickedness that you should have seen coming, man, but might have been oblivious to. Hey, man, because at the end of the day, our nations are not in agreement. You read about it in Sirach, and also in Sirach, the 33rd chapter, talks about all nations were created differently for different purposes, man. Some to be righteous, some to be wicked. This so-called white man was created to be the wicked, and that's his whole MO, man. That's what he's about, that's what he's here for, and he ain't going to be righteous. It's impossible for the so-called white man to be righteous. This is Amos chapter 3, and I want to read from verse 3. It says, can two walk together except they be agreed? Hey, man, the obvious answer to that is no, man. Yahweh Shai did not create us to walk hand in hand with the so-called white man. We're Israel, man, Yasha Allah, the nation created to be holy unto the Most High. The word holy meaning separate, man. We're not supposed to be mixing with these other nations. We're not supposed to be walking hand in hand with the enemy. Because at the end of the day, man, things like this happen, man. You know, these devils got exposed, man, before it came down. But, you know, that's how the majority of these so-called white people think about you, Jake, man. Because at the end of the day, you are not of their kind, man. You are of a different nationality, a different people. And the world has always been about people looking after their race, man. Racism is an essential part of life. They're trying to eradicate racism in the society, and they look upon it like it's something bad and it's something negative. Racism is just really and truly a part of everyday life, man. And you're going to see true racism when this devil comes down upon you. In fact, let me just grab that in Sirach as well, just to emphasize the point, because that scripture in Sirach is one of my favorite scriptures, man. Just a second. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Man, it says good is set against evil. If I had my scriptures on me, yeah, Sirach 33. It is Sirach 33. It's verse 14. It says, let me start from Sirach 33 and 10. And all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of the earth. So, of course, you all have the same source. Because you'll have people that read the article and they're looking at it like, I'm disgusted. I can't believe people in 2017, going on 2018 in a couple of days are still thinking like this. I can't believe that we live in a world where people can be racist and look upon each other less favorably because of nationality. But let's see what it says. In much knowledge, the Lord Yahweh Shai have divided them and made their ways diverse. So he's made them different, very different. Yeah, some of them have he blessed and exalted. So this is the Most High. He's chosen specific ones of those nations to bless and exalt. Israel being, you know, the primary. And some have he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. Now that is the nation of Edom, man. Clearly, however, in this kingdom, man, pursuant to Daniel's the 2nd chapter, the Most High raiseth up and setteth up kings, man. Removeth them when he needs to. Also, man, he's got Esau literally living in this realm as a king for the purpose of literally showing us, man, how much of a piece of shit this this devil is, man, and his rulership, number one, but also for a life lesson, or really for a life lesson ultimately, man, so that we come back into the kingdom knowing full circle righteousness, man, and know the way, we have a balance, you know, because we're experiencing the unrighteousness on this side, man, but we're going to get the kingdom back, and then we're going to be, you know, perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works, because like King Solomon, we're going to have the expertise in wickedness from this side, but we're also going to be totally righteous, man. We're going to know the balance of both so we can effectively judge everything. On this side, however, man, we got to first deal with the hell. And like I read in the article, that's how every devil looks at Jake, man. They look at Jake like, really, you're a piece of shit. And guess what? That goes back to the creation story in Genesis, man. You know, with Eve and the serpent, because the serpent wasn't talking about an actual snake. The serpent was a metaphorical reference to a nation of people that were living, you know, in that period of time. It was actually referring to a man from a nation of people that were living at that point in time. And that man it was referring to in the spirit, man, going back there, even though they weren't called Edomites then, is the spirit of Esau, man. But that was also in the spirit of Cain. Yeah, and the Most High did this, man. He put that spiritual enmity between us and the so-called white man. Genesis 3 and 15. It says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. And you know, when it mentions the heel, that's the sign, man. It's talking about Jacob and Esau. But the Most High said he will put enmity between the woman and the serpent, and also her seed and its seed. And enmity goes into hatred, as you can see here in the blue letter.
Strong's H342. Ava.
Probably Ava. I mean, like, you know, I'm not going to just make it up, but that's not the correct Hebrew word for it. Yeah, but, you know, enmity, man. Hatred. The Most High said he was going to put hatred between us, our seed, and the woman's seed. I mean, it's like our seed and the serpent's seed. And you have that in Genesis 25, man, where it says, Genesis 25, and I'm going to start from verse 23. And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, two different nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated, go their distinct different ways from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Amen. Yahweh set the distinction, man, straight from there. So guess what? That's carried through all the way down to today. Now we're known as so-called black people and so-called white people. Just because the distinctions and the names have changed does not mean the people have changed, man. Jacob and Esau are still out here, man. Jacob is now surnamed Israel, and Esau is just the devil, man. Like, he's still out here, man. He's still out here, and he still has that same hatred for Jake inbred in him, man. Just because these devils don't come out right and say, yeah, not every I mean, most of them do, but not every devil's gonna come out right and say, yeah, you fucking nigga. You best believe they're teaching their children to hate you at home. They don't really like you. They ain't gonna try to sit next to you on the train, because at the end of the day, man, these devils are not on your side, man, at all. And at the first chance they get, man, to get at you, Jake, similar to the way they did in 70 AD, man, you know, the Roman Jewish wars, as they call them, the scholars like to call them, they're gonna come down on you hard. And Jake got to be ready, man. But brothers like, you know, us that are Lord willing members of the elect, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shira, Azar, we have our eyes open and we're circumspect, man. But hey, you Jake that are not aware, you gonna get caught lacking. Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and them that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. The so-called white man knows that his kingdom's in decline. He knows that everything's going down the drain for him, man. And he knows the only way that he's going to be able to he's not going to be able to rectify nothing, Salakia. But the only way that he's going to be able to appease that wrath is by coming down on Jake, man. And the two-thirds of Jacob going to feel it. That's the time of Jacob's trouble, that martial law, when a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to, like it says in Esdras, man. It's going to get very, very real out here, man. And unless you got the spirit of Yahweh Shai with you, man, hey, man, it's going to be a tough time. You're going to have a tough time making it out here, man. I mean, the point's been made. I mean, these devils, man, they're not on your side. Don't ever for a second think that the so-called white man likes you, man. Enmity goes back to our forefathers, Jacob and Esau, man. And I mean, hey, man, this is not your rest, for it shall destroy you with a soul pollution, man. Spiritually, get out of here. And stop trying to be that so-called white man your friend. Proverbs 11:21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Yeah? The wicked of our people and also the wicked themselves, man. Trust me. Shalom. Shalom.